Once again, I am doing this at... Really, bro? I'm doing this at fucking golden hour, so that means the sun is directly behind me. And in theory, it's a really aesthetic time to be filming. However, I am walking, and I can only walk in this direction, so my camera can only aim in a certain direction, which means it's probably not going to get any of those benefits. And it's fucking hot. Anyway, today's another cop-out video. I spent almost all of today playing Legends of Runeterra, which is one of the only games my computer can run now. There's a fly on my screen. Which is one of the only games that I can play on my computer now because the fans don't work. So it's really only a matter of time before my laptop is actually broken. And I just can never use it again. So in the meantime, today being a bit of a lighter work day, I thought I'd indulge myself and just play a shit ton of Legends of Runeterra. Makes me kind of sad because, you can kind of tell playing the game that Legends of Runeterra is not Riot's most popular game. It's almost certainly their least popular game, which makes me pretty sad. Because it's a pretty fun game. I like playing it. I think more people should be playing it. Because it's kind of crazy how many times I end up in ranked. I end up playing against the same people. There are tons of new people. It's just I shouldn't keep queuing with the same people, against the same people. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about Legends of Runeterra. Although, if my computer was stronger, I might consider attempting a gaming video where I just play Legends of Runeterra. I think that'd be fun. Would people like watching it? I don't know, but I think it'd be fun to get some practice in making a gaming video. Messing around with OBS. But, no. I decided today I'm actually just going to give a book recommendation. I'm currently reading Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. Anyone who knows me, that's not true. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't talk about it as much as I talk about other things, but I used to read a lot, and the genre I generally lean towards is sci-fi fantasy. And one of the best sci-fi fantasy writers of our time, if not all time, although I know that is an opinion that some people would disagree with, but it's Brandon Sanderson. He's a phenomenal writer. He's just a guy who loves writing and is really good at it. Really great world building, and by far his magnum opus, his best thing he's ever written. Which is saying a lot because all of his books are pretty good. At least the ones I've read so far. I haven't even approached reading all of them yet, but because they're big. Way of Kings is the first book in the Stormlight Archives, which is the series that Words of Radiance and Way of Kings and I think Oathbringer, and there might be another one in there that I don't know, but they're really good books. I know I'm not making much of a compelling argument here. I'm kind of just saying over and over that they're good books. But it's a really well-written, well-crafted world. It's a giant, giant place that he has created. And, I guess one of the selling points is that he spent, 10 years designing this world. And you can tell by reading it. Everything is so intricate and well-detailed. And there's so much thought put into everything. And it really feels like the magic system and the unique weather system that's part of the world, and the different countries and entirely different ethnicities that he's created, all of them with their own religions and societal values, and the way they all interact with each other. It's very interesting. You know, like, and every one of those things has their own, like, implications that are carried out in full throughout the entire world and the story, and the characters are all, oh my gosh, the books are big, but none of the space is wasted. And it starts, minor spoiler, it basically, essentially it's about 3 different characters. Kaladin, Dalinar, and Shallan. And all 3 of these characters, they start in completely different places. Kaladin, he's a surgeon's son who grew up as a lower class individual and was on his way to becoming a surgeon, when basically he joined the army in order to protect his brother, and things did not go well for him. And they started off all right for him, but they got worse, and he's had to work his way through all of the issues that come with war, but also with the like political, I don't think economics is part of it. Just like, you know, I'm not explaining this well. The point is that Kaladin's a cool character. I didn't plan any of this, in case that isn't apparent. But then you have Dalinar, and Dalinar is a high prince of the country, and then you have Shallan, and she's from a different country, and she's on her way to become the ward of a great scholar. It's a fascinating world. Very well designed, very well thought out, and I'd be lying if I said that I have not wished I could make a world like that. And I am, like, brainstorming over a world that's very different from the one in Brandon Sanderson's books, but my goal is not to copy the content, but to copy the quality. You know? Yeah, this is another one of me just rambling to myself. It is very warm out. The light breeze does, that's nice. But yeah, all the characters, the main characters definitely, but there's a good amount of thought put into all of the characters, all their place in the story, and they start out in very different places, but by the time they all come together to the same place, which I'm just starting to get to now in the second book, oh my gosh, it's so satisfying, because you know the characters so well at that point, and you know the kinds of people they are, and you see them interact with each other and butt heads with each other, and their different ideologies that they're fighting over, and you know, we know things about each of the characters that the characters don't know about each other, which just makes things so interesting and very satisfying to watch them. It's very fun. It's very good. Definitely one of those series that I do wish could get some sort of like a TV show adaptation. But oh my goodness, am I scared of that happening. And I appreciate Brandon Sanderson being very mindful about that, because there was his Mistborn series, another good series. I'm actually also reading starting the second trilogy, or not. It's more. It's not a second trilogy. It's more like a spin-off trilogy of the Mistborn trilogy. But the point is, there was some talk about him working on the script for an actual movie for that, and it got canceled. Because things just aren't quite ready. According to Sanderson, things aren't quite ready. And it makes me sad, but I think he might be right. Like, high fantasy is just not as popular, nowhere near as popular in mainstream media as like superhero movies or just like action flicks, things like that, you know? And like the amount of work that has to go into a high fantasy film, the amount of complexity that comes with introducing a new world that your audience isn't familiar with to any extent, that's challenging, you know, and costs a lot, you know, to get writers to put it together, to make it well, and then all of like the technical aspects, because it's a fantasy movie, so you gotta figure out how you're gonna bring those things to life. Things that aren't in our world. And that can add up very quickly when the world is completely different from our own. Like, I'm just thinking about, like in the Stormlight archives, vegetation is completely different. Like, because the way the weather system works is that the weather is, like, completely random. And it's dictated, for the most part, by these, like, giant magical storms that roll in from the east and are just so incredibly powerful that anytime they happen, and they happen, like, seemingly at random, although they can be predicted, but, like, there's no real pattern to them. They can just be, like, they're so insanely destructive to everything that society has had, like, it's affected architecture, it's affected nature, like all of the wildlife and all of the wildlife, the vegetation, all of it has evolved to survive in an environment where random magical storms can just happen. And so that means, like, someone who is trying to make a film or a TV show of this would have to create a world that has trees and, like, plants that don't exist in our world. You know what I mean? Like, every single thing is so different in this world that you'd have to start from literally zero in order to get something for a screen. And that could add up so quickly. It takes so much time. So I do really want it to be adapted, but I'm not currently holding my breath. Now, that does mean it could work very well for an animated series. If something like Arcane were to be made for this, except hopefully with more consistent quality across the seasons, I think that'd be really good. I think it could look fantastic. I think what we really need is someone who's just... We kind of need, like, a Denis Villeneuve. Is that his name? The guy who made the Dune movies, the newer Dune movies. We need someone who's that kind of passionate about the Starlight Archives. And we need that person to help make it a reality, you know? And we also kind of need the public, the general audience to, be more open-minded to finding something new. And I think that's happening. I do think that's happening. Especially when you look at, like, the Fantastic Four First Steps. That film had, like, an entirely different world. Now, granted, it was similar enough to our own. It was based on, like, retro, our idea of what, like, retro futuristic looks like. And that is very, like, and it was pretty aesthetic for the most part. Like, there weren't, like, fundamental conceptual differences between our world and Fantastic Four First Steps, but there were the changes and the differences between the usual Marvel world, which is basically just our world, but with superheroes, and the Fantastic Four world was really just that. It was really mostly aesthetic. Mostly. But... I think it's a step, though, is what I'm trying to say. I think the more I see people writing worlds and stories that are more and more different from our own, the more excited I get that soon, one day eventually, we might get a Brandon Sanderson film adaptation. And hopefully, I'm very confident that this is the case, but hopefully, Brandon Sanderson can continue to, keep a good eye on his own creation and make sure that nobody else comes around and fucks it up. Because, oh my god, if they fuck up one of these, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Artemis Fowl was a decent sized series. Like, not as big as Brandon Sanderson's, book's not even close, I'd say, but I really loved those books as a kid, the Artemis Fowl series. Maybe I'll revisit them at some point, but man, did they fuck that up. Damn it, Disney. Holy shit, I don't know how you do that. I don't know who the fuck are they getting to adapt these movies? And Nimona? Don't even talk to me about Nimona. Holy shit. Man, I got angry very fast. I might need to self-reflect a little bit. The point is that I hope that doesn't happen here. What exactly am I saying? What was the point of this? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to edit this video. I don't think there's much value in this video for me to put any more effort into it to edit it. I think I'll just take it as a loss. It's not really a loss. I got to talk a bit. And who knows, maybe someone out there can piece together some value from what I'm saying, but I don't think anyone's going to take the time to do that, and I don't blame them. But really what's most important is that a video of mine gets out there today. Because I was serious when I said I was going to do it every day, so... Man. Today's been a really rough day. Not like a rough day. Today was a good day. Like, it was an easy day. It's just I'm at this point. It's late in the... it's in the evening now. And I'm looking back and I'm realizing I didn't really do that much. And that was kind of the point. Today was technically a rest day. But I was still supposed to do more than what I did. I watched YouTube and played Legends of Runeterra. That's all I did. That's not completely true. I went to the library for a couple of minutes to print something off and then I came back. But besides that, that's it. Man. So yeah, I'm almost halfway to my walk. I'm trying to walk an hour a day. It's over 10,000 steps, which is great news because that's what I'm trying to do in order to keep my weight manageable. It's really comforting to see that, progress is happening. Improvement is occurring. I am actually, I've set a goal for myself. Work out every day. Not every day. Work out 3 days a week. Go for a walk every day. And in the past, if I missed a single day, or even 2 days in a row, I might just give up. I might try making excuses to put it off longer. Because of, because I feel like, oh, well, I already failed. So, this is a waste of time and I should just start fresh again. Whatever that means. But I haven't done that. I'm still doing it. So I think that's a good sign that I am getting better. I am growing. I'm maturing. I'm all those good things that you hope happened, that you would hope would happen when you get to 21. But apparently my brain's still not fully developed, which is honestly good news. I think that's good news. Because if this is my brain fully developed, I'm so fucked. But yeah. Alright. I think I'll cut it off here, and I'm just gonna start listening to Words of Radiance again. I've been listening to it in an audiobook. I never really thought about audiobooks, Never really considered those as reading. Because to me, I'm a very traditional reader, if that's even a thing. I'm just if you're not reading it with your eyes and you don't read it all the way through, then you didn't really read it. And because that's how that's how reading generally is. But I'm learning that it's really not about the act of holding a bound collection of paper, scanning it with your eyes. It's about taking in the knowledge that somebody else has written, or, investing yourself in the story that somebody else has created. And if you do that with your ears, it's just as legitimate as if you do it with your eyes. And it saves time because it means I can read while I go on my walks. And as I get busier, or at least as I continue to make the excuse that I'm too busy to read books, I can at least take the time to do it while I do my walks and things. And in the process, make my walks more interesting. Because I do have to walk for an hour. Ideally every day. And I've been walking this same road. So around the corner from my house, I've been walking this same road for the past couple of, 2 months now. And it does not get any more interesting. Also, it's super windy now. This is my favorite part of the... This is my favorite part of the walk. The wind is really soothing. And the view isn't terrible. It's nice and open. Sometimes there's birds. The other day there was like a hare or a jackrabbit or something. But yeah, I've been talking too long. My hair looks bad. I don't feel like I should be this winded, but also I spent the whole day not really doing anything, so this is the most time outside or moving my body I've spent all day, so I guess I'm not surprised. Did not sleep good yesterday. That's probably also contributing to my fatigue and general lack of motivation. That's the point of habits, right? That's why we put in the effort to build good habits. It's so we can continue doing what we need to do even when we don't want to. That's really the benefit of a habit, is you do it always. Motivation becomes irrelevant, which is good because motivation as a catalyst is generally, I would say even almost always, unreliable. It's effective when you have it. The problem is you don't know when you'll have it. And more times than not, you will not have it. I gotta get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow I gotta lock in. Tomorrow things are gonna step up a little. I've been saying that a long time, but eventually it's gonna be true. And again, I've been making progress with my goals and with my habits. So I genuinely think sooner or later it will happen. I might not notice it happening. That is very possible. The change could be so gradual I don't even realize it happened. It could be changing right now, and I have no idea. I was going to try to see if I could shoot shadow side right there, but the sun is right there. I don't know what else to say here. I talk to myself a lot, so this isn't exactly unusual for me, except there's a camera now, and I'm just kind of talking. Fully aware that no one's going to watch this far. Perhaps 1 or 2 people will watch the first 30 or so seconds of this. Man, if you're watching this and you're brute forcing your way through the terrible audio quality that is definitely occurring because of the wind out here, now I turn around, then I don't know what to say to you. I mean, thank you, but why? Why the fuck did you do that? I don't know. I like to think that one day, when this channel's a lot bigger and I have a lot more fans, a lot of people, not too many people, but a good number of people will go back and they'll watch all these videos to see where I started. That makes me happy. in a pretty self-centered way. It's like attention-seeking kind of way. That makes me pretty happy. I like that idea. But I'm not there yet. But yeah. If that's you, if you're from the future, where I'm like successful or shit, like successful or shit, I guess those are the two options, aren't there? When I really boil it down, you're either successful or you're shit, right? Might sound harsh, but I mean, successful can mean a lot of different things, you know? There's a person coming here. There's a person walking here. It's another thing I don't love about this road is every once in a while I have to walk past somebody, and that's super awkward. I gotta work on that. Awkwardness. Social, I wouldn't say anxiety. I don't feel anxiety about it, just like I don't make any effort to go out of my comfort zone concerning social interactions. And I want to get better with people. I want to become more charismatic. Not going to do that if I don't practice, right? Do you turn around? The sun's in my eyes just perfectly, where I can't tell if he's walking towards me or away from me. It's a fun little optical illusion. I do think he's walking away from me. Also, it might be a woman, which is more awkward. Not because I'm afraid of women, but because I don't exactly want to, make a woman uncomfortable. Because there's no one else out here. I don't want them to think that I would just, It's weird. There's a sort of balance to it. I'm still trying to figure out, how to be friendly to people while still keeping everybody comfortable. Because, I think that's only fair. I think it's only considerate that we should try to, keep people comfortable, especially when we're first meeting them. Because I wouldn't want some stranger I don't know making me feel uncomfortable, making me feel like they wanted something out of me who I just met, so I don't know. And in the moment, I'm really bad at gauging, myself, if that makes sense. I'm really bad at, perceiving how I'm coming off to someone else. My self-awareness just tanks really badly when I'm in social interactions, especially with people I don't know, because I'm so worried. Not worried, but I don't know, I just I stiffen up, and parts of my brain turn off that I need to stay on for those things, so. And that happens with men and women, so. But, yeah, I'm definitely just rambling now. There's a car coming. Alright, I'm stopped now. If you watched all the way to the end, type your favorite animal. No, that's too basic. Type the scariest thing that anybody has ever said to you out of context in the comments below if you watched this far. Out of context. I don't need to hear your full life story. Not that I mind that, just I feel like YouTube comments aren't a place to do that. I am now walking directly into the sun. This is miserable. I can't see shit. Alright.